another edition of Rocked It or Blocked It. So I've been looking for a dairy-free mozzarella cheese recipe because I'm making a low-carb green bean casserole later on today, and it calls for mozzarella cheese. I found this recipe. It is on skintherapyblog.com, and it's a vegan macadamia mozzarella cheese recipe. So most vegan cheeses that I found online use cashews. So I have to go in and substitute, usually it's blanched almonds, but I like the fact that they're using macadamia nuts because that is super keto friendly. Cashews, not keto friendly. Macadamia nuts, water, they have nutritional yeast, apple cider vinegar, sea salt, and garlic powder. They call for tapioca flour, but that's not keto friendly either. So I researched online, they said that you can substitute any kind of flour for tapioca flour. So I'm just using almond flour. First of all, it says to soak the macadamia nuts in water for 4 hours. Well, I don't have 4 hours because I want to get this green bean casserole completed today. So in the notes section it says that you can boil the nuts in water for about 10 minutes and then they're ready to go. All right, I'm back and we have our boiled macadamia nuts. So we're going to pour that in our pot along with all the other ingredients. Okay, so we're at the stove and we've got this on low to medium heat and we're gonna just let it sit for a little bit. Keep stirring. Well, it's been about a half an hour now. What do you think it looks like? It's getting a little thicker, but it doesn't look like a cheesy, gooey mess or anything like what they said. I honestly don't want to wait any longer for this. This is just a little ridiculous. 10 minutes. No, not even close to 10 minutes. I think I'm gonna cheat and put just half a teaspoon of xanthan gum in. Just a little bit. All right, here's a half a teaspoon, and I'm just gonna whisk it in. So here's what it looks like after a few minutes of xanthan gum. It's a lot thicker. I think it could be a little bit thicker though. I'm gonna throw another half a teaspoon in there. Okay, so now I am turning the heat off and I'm just gonna keep whisking for a while. All right, I think this is as good as it's gonna get. If I put too much xanthan gum in, then it would make it like jello-y, you know, same thing with gelatin if you put too much in. But this is pretty good. That's a pretty good consistency. I mean, it's not gonna be like shreddable mozzarella cheese, right? It's just gonna be in a recipe that calls for mozzarella cheese, or you can put this on pizza. But I'm not really looking for shredded, I guess. I don't really care if it shreds or not. I just want to stick it in the recipe. So I'm going to call this good. Okay, so I think it thickened up as much as it's going to. It's pretty thick, and maybe it'll thicken up in the fridge a little bit more. But I had to cheat and use this xanthan gum. So I don't know if it ever would have thickened up if I just followed the recipe exactly. But I know how to fix things. Well, I'm learning. I don't have it all figured out yet, but every time I make something and something goes wrong, I learn something from it. Or I'll research online and figure out, you know, what do I do if XYZ happens? So I want to pass that knowledge on to you so you don't have to spend the time going out and doing the research, right? Yeah. All right, so I've got my dish here. So I'm just going to pour this in and call it good. I made the mistake of not blending it well enough. Wow, this thing's wicked. I think we need the food processor, which is awesome. I love using that. That's probably my favorite appliance. blending for quite a while, so I think we should check it out for consistency. Oh yeah, super creamy. There's no chunks of macadamia nuts in here. And it's a perfect texture. So I think that starting off in the blender is fine because there's quite a bit of water in there. And then transferring it to the stove. I don't even know if that step is necessary, because if you just put the xanthan gum in there and mix it up and then maybe put it in a food processor to make sure that the nuts are completely all chopped and the xanthan gum is completely distributed, maybe that's all you need to do. And you can just skip the whole stove part. I think that would probably work. So this recipe probably could be a lot easier than the instructions say, because the xanthan gum is going to thicken it whether you put it on the stove or not. All right, so let's transfer this to our dish. So I hope it turns out good. It tastes great. There's nothing wrong with the taste. The texture's pretty good. It's not going to be like a block of cheese to be able to shred or anything, but it's fine just to put in a recipe. Yeah, I'd say this worked out pretty good. Took a long while to get to this point. I would definitely make this again. I would just make it a little bit differently. So there you have it, your very own dairy-free mozzarella cheese spread. Hey, if you guys like this video, give me some love. Like it, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and if you make this recipe, comment down below whether it worked out or not for you. And you can check out the recipe